Matt Walsh had a complete meltdown over AI yesterday on X, and it's pretty much the standard thing that I see from the gatekeeping establishment in the media. They really don't want anybody to have the ability to make their own movies or make their own comic books or make their own books or make their own art at all. And they always go through kind of the same progression. And it's always, I call it the stages of AI grief, where they just won't accept that AI is a tool that people are using and that it can be used for good, it can be used for bad, like any other tool. And with somebody like Matt Walsh, who is a right-wing guy, it's really interesting to me because the same arguments are used here that are used for gun control. And I know that Matt Walsh is vehemently opposed to gun control, and he would say that it's our Second Amendment rights, and that it's very important, and guns don't kill people, people kill people, and yet his arguments here are very much like AI takes people's jobs, and it's and AI is bad, and it can do harm to people by itself, like your prompting is not responsible. The human behind it is not responsible, but the human behind it is responsible for what comes out of AI, much like anything else. So it's a specious argument, of course. So I'm going to get into all of his little stages of grief here in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate you guys as we talk about AI on the channel here. I have a new science fiction project, and I am a science fiction writer, if you are not aware. It's a trilogy, which is on Fund My Comic right now. And I actually did not use AI in the creation of this. I'm actually telling people right now that as it stands, just the amount of art money and editing money, and of course the amount of hours I put into it, I'm actually standing to lose a lot more money off of this trilogy right now. I mean, it'll change as people buy it. Than with my AI fiction that I write, which is actually subsidizing this at the point. And people ask me immediately, how much AI is being used in this? And the answer is none. And I asked the guy who asked that immediately, I said, but if you can't tell and you have to ask, like, shouldn't you be able to tell if it's a problem? And since you should be able to tell that it is human art, shouldn't you then support the human art as much as possible? Of course, got no response on that, right? But they don't care. But this is really good stuff, regardless of whether you're into AI or not. This is fun science fiction. And I did a space exploration trilogy because I like space exploration. I like heroes. I like classic sci-fi, like from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You could tell by the art style that we went with on this. And I wanted to bring back that sort of fun sense of wonder again. So if you want to support my channel, if you want to support science fiction, this is a great way to do so. We're on Fund My Comic, and even though these are regular books, they're not comics, this is a spot. They support free speech over there, and I really like that site. So get in on this. It's in the description below. Thank you guys for being here as we go over the AI derangement here. And this is Matt Walsh. And so he says, just typing a prompt and having AI generate a film is literally not filmmaking. You are not making the film. AI is making the film. AI has no feeling, no thought, no soul. It spits out and inevitably will be soulless and meaningless, even if that's technically impressive. AI will be the death of art because art is an expression of the human soul. Soulless art is not art, it's anti-art. And this is because of Mad Max's director saying AI is here to stay, to change things. It's way more egalitarian, which it is, and will make filmmaking available to anybody who has a calling to it. And that's why I'm excited about it. I can't wait for AI to be consistent enough to me be able to make a Valiant Frontiers film myself. Right now, to do so, and do so well, would cost at least $10, $20 million, maybe even $100 million. I obviously don't have that, and I don't have access to the Hollywood gatekeepers who would then fund that kind of thing. So I can't do that. Once AI can actually do consistent characters, follow direction on that level for a film setting, I can make my own movies on this. And that's what's got me very, very excited about AI. That's great. Now, does this mean that I'm just going to... we'll break down Matt Walsh's arguments here because it's ridiculous. Just typing a prompt and having AI-generated a film is literally not filmmaking. So what does a director do? A director tells the cameraman, take this shot, do this. And actors do this, use these hand motions, evoke this kind of emotion, go. It's a real life AI prompt. That's what directing is, right? And so you are directing, but you're just not directing humans. You're directing an algorithm to do that those portions of things for you. So you are literally making a film. I think film is actually the best analogy for AI actually in the arts, actually doing more than anything else. You are the director at that point, and I think that's what's got Hollywood, and that's what got the gatekeepers scared. And so Matt Walsh, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, what does this mean right here, like, that he says this, right? That they're not making the film. There, it's like, so only like I'm not a valid artist because I can't get Hollywood donors to give me $20 million to make my project. That's what I have to do to be a valid artist. They're not going to do that because I don't have any connections. I'm not a part of their establishment. I'm not making the stuff they do. And I find it very, very funny as he gets into this further. So that's part one. You are literally making the film as a directing. Two, AI has no feeling, no thought, no soul. What it spits out is inevitably soulless and meaningless. Now, again, we're talking about filmmaking. Have you seen any of the films recently? Do you think that James Gunn's Superman, Matt Walsh, has feeling, thought, soul, and meaning? I don't know if you saw that movie, but they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that, and obviously there were some problems with that on that level. In fact, I'd say almost everything Hollywood spits out has no meaning or thought or feeling or anything like that. But to get to the next point of it, the concept of soul is silly because no, any movie doesn't have a soul. It's an inanimate object. It is something that doesn't exist. It's just, it's crazy to talk about it like it would have a soul. Only a human has a soul, and that's pretty obvious right there. So no matter what tool you use, whether it's an iPhone to make the movie or whether it's an AI prompt to make the movie, it doesn't have a soul. So that's a ridiculous argument right there. And going back to AI will be the death of art, I already kind of talked about this. Like, you've got filmmaking is a industry that's tightly controlled by people who have corporate interests, who really don't do art for the art's sake for the most part. It's very, very difficult to find artistic films, to find artistic things out there, and it's stuff that's going to be only on independent levels with low budget, and it's hard to get that done. And so what this does is actually does allow artists who actually have vision, who actually have that sort of creativity to do it themselves and put that work in. Now, this comes from a misunderstanding because what Matt Walsh is thinking is he's thinking you go into Super Grok or whatever and you go, make me a movie like this. And he's thinking you just do this and that is what's going to make a quality AI art, right? This sounds fun, creative challenge. I literally can't produce a full-fledged movie but I can whip up a short movie concept and that's it. And that's all it can do if you do that. And this is going to be pretty stupid, right? When AI gets too smart, the universe gets stupid. As a sci-fi comedy, Grok's glitch, right? So it just made fun of itself right there, and that's not going to be a good movie. Of course not. But if I made a movie and I actually plugged in my whole plot of The Soul Catcher right here, it would be a good movie, and it wouldn't be soulless and all that. This Soul Catcher, that's pretty entertaining just by itself, but it would actually have meaning to it because my story has meaning to it, which I'll let you discover for yourself. But that is the difference right there. It's who's using the prompts, it's who's putting the effort into the prompts, and you're going to get what you give on this. I had a conversation last night with somebody who uses Suno to make music very well, and he is a excellent producer and does excellent work. I made a Suno song, and I wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes. I didn't edit the lyrics or anything like that. And he said, it's got good kernels of stuff, but it's not refined. Like, I could fix this and fix the lyrics and fix some of the portions of it, and then it'd be a polished song. It's not there yet. And that's the case. You get what you give in the arts for how much work that you put into the arts as it is. You get exactly the work that you put in. And if you see, like, I'm a professional novel writer, and so I know how to, like, really put in hard work into AI novel writing also. And with that, my AI novels are doing very, very well because they have good story to them, and they have a lot of work behind the prompts. If I just did what I did with Grok, obviously it's not going to come out with something that good. And so Matt Walsh is pretending that everybody's just going, write me a story in Grok like that, and coming out with, quote, professional works, and that's not the case. Even the AI videos that I've seen, there's the Darth Vader rap, right? Darth Vader rap AI. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's very, very funny. And if you look at, like, what this has done with filmmaking, these prompts, like, are edited together. They're synced with the timing of the beat of the music. And there's a lot that goes into this. And every one of these like 15 5-second prompts requires a lot of thought and requires it, of course, doing a certain thing and keeping the consistency of everything that goes on. You see there's even consistent problems. There's different chains that he's wearing. There's different sweatshirts he's wearing in each prompt because the consistency is not there right now. But even just doing this requires a lot of editing, film work, and the like. The song required some work. It's not just putting in a prompt and saying go, which that took hours and hours and hours of somebody doing creative work that couldn't have been done without AI, by the way. And that's what we're going to see from the real creators out there. It's going to be the same thing as anything else. You'll have real creators doing good work. You'll have lame creators doing lame work. And Matt Walsh just assumes everyone's lame, which I guess just shows how much work he really wants to put into stuff. Because he wants to keep the gatekeeping intact. That way, you don't have a voice. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my Valiant Frontiers. This is all human-made, believe it or not. And I did, and I'm very proud of the work that we've done. And that doesn't mean we won't use AI. I do for different books, but this is quality science fiction that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. And I appreciate you guys supporting our channel. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.